1400 years ago, in the city of Makkah, a child was born who would change the world forever. His name was Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, the grandson of Abdul Muttalib. But when he opened his eyes, his father was not there. His father had already passed away before his birth. The little boy came into this world as an orphan, and his mother Amina held him close with tears in her eyes, naming him Muhammad, the praised one. From the very beginning, his life was filled with loss. At the age of 6, his mother passed away during a journey, leaving him completely alone. Soon after, his grandfather, who took care of him, also died. By the age of 8, Muhammad was without a father, without a mother, without a grandfather, a young boy carrying the weight of loneliness. But instead of falling into despair, he learned patience, strength, and silence. His uncle Abu Talib took him in, raising him with love and care despite being poor himself. As a child, Muhammad worked as a shepherd, guiding sheep across the fields, learning patience and responsibility. As he grew older, he earned the trust of his people. He never lied, never cheated, never raised his voice in arrogance. People began to call him Al-Amin, the trustworthy. Even his enemies admitted he was a man of truth. At the age of 25, his honesty led him to meet a noble and wealthy woman named Khadijah. She had heard about his character and hired him to manage her trade. When he returned from his journey with honesty, dignity, and profit greater than she had ever seen, she was deeply impressed. Soon they were married. Khadijah was 40, Muhammad was 25, and their marriage became a bond of love, loyalty, and support. For the next 25 years, she was his partner in every struggle, his comfort in every storm. But outside their home, the world was dark. Makkah was filled with idols. People bowed to stone, to wood, to objects they themselves had built. Women were treated as property. The poor were crushed under the rich. Slaves were beaten and humiliated. Fathers buried their newborn daughters alive, believing them to be shameful. Muhammad could not accept this cruelty. He began spending nights alone in a cave on Mount Hijrah, searching for answers, praying for truth. And then, one night, everything changed. At the age of 40, while he sat in the cave, a voice called out, "Read." Terrified, he replied, "I cannot read." The voice repeated, "Read." Again, he said, "I cannot read." Then the voice said, "Read in the name of your Lord who created." It was the angel Gabriel, bringing the first revelation from God. Shaken and afraid, Muhammad ran home to Khadijah, saying, "Cover me, cover me." She held him and said words that would echo through history. "Allah will never disgrace you. You care for the poor. You help the weak. You speak only the truth. Allah will never abandon you." With her support, his mission began. But it was not easy. When Muhammad started calling people to worship only one God, to treat all humans equally, the leaders of Makkah turned against him. His message was too dangerous. It meant the rich and powerful would lose their control. They mocked him, calling him a liar, a magician, a madman. They offered him wealth, women, power, if only he would stop. But he refused. He said, "If they put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I would never give up this mission." His followers were tortured. Some were killed. Others were beaten until they could not stand. He himself had trash thrown on him, was insulted, cursed, and even stoned until his body bled. And yet, he never cursed them back. He prayed for them, saying, "O Allah, guide my people, for they do not know." After years of suffering, the Muslims migrated to a new city, Medina. There, Muhammad was not just a prophet, but a leader. He built a community where rich and poor stood side by side, where women had rights, where slaves were treated as brothers, where justice was for all. He created a system of peace and mercy that shocked the world. Even then, his enemies did not leave him. They marched with armies to destroy him. Battles were fought, but every time Muhammad showed patience, mercy, and wisdom. When finally, after years of struggle, he returned to Makkah with thousands of followers, He could have taken revenge on those who tortured him. Instead, he forgave them. Standing in front of the very people who once tried to kill him, he said, "Go, for you are free." This forgiveness, this mercy, this strength of character won hearts more than any sword ever could. Within a short time, the message of Islam spread across Arabia and soon across the world. And yet, even with victory, Muhammad lived simply. He mended his own clothes. He slept on the floor. He ate dates and bread. Sometimes days passed without food cooking in his home. He rejected the life of a king, choosing instead the life of a servant of God. After 23 years of prophethood, his mission was complete. He stood before his people in his final sermon, saying, "O people, your Lord is one, and your Father is one. All of you are equal. No Arab is better than a non-Arab. No white is better than a black, except by righteousness." These were his last words to humanity, a message of unity, equality, and love. Soon after, at the age of 63, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, returned to his Lord. The man who was born an orphan, who lived with pain, rejection, and loss, left behind the greatest legacy in human history. Today, more than 1 billion people follow his example. His name is spoken every second of every day across the globe. His message continues to inspire justice, kindness, mercy, and hope. And whether you are Muslim or not, his story is proof that one man, with truth in his heart and patience in his soul, can change the world forever.